Rosalind finds herself incarcerated, awaiting trial. A guard approaches her cell to escort her to the courthouse for the impending legal proceedings. Meanwhile, Nolan returns home from a run to discover a birthday cake from Bailey. Their conversation shifts to Rosalind and her court date later that day. Tamara interrupts Lucy's sleep of a steamy dream involving her and Tim. The two discuss Lucy's undercover situation with Tim, leading to a confrontation about Lucy's recent kiss with Tim. Lopez confronts Tim about his feelings for Lucy, which he denies, attributing his actions to being undercover. The police chief commends Nolan's success at the border, granting him the freedom to choose any assignment he desires, the golden ticket. Doubts linger among others about Nolan's choice. Tim receives a call on his phone, actually belonging to Dim. Lucy and Tim talk to Lion, who informs them that Damien will be joining them, unbeknownst to Chenford. Lopez pledges to handle the situation. As Rosalind heads to court, various law enforcement agencies ensure a smooth process. The sheriff's department captain briefs everyone on the trial's logistics. Lopez and Aaron discover a gun in Damien's car and arrest him to prevent him from meeting Chenford and Lion. Chenford receives a call from Lion, instructing them to be at the airport for a job. Concerns arise about potential risks, but Aaron assures them of quick airplane availability. Nolan awaits Rosalind in a garage, leading to a tense interaction. Rosalind intentionally provokes Nolan by mentioning people he cares about. Chenford arrives at the airport, encountering 3 men. They board a plane headed for Las Vegas, with Lion revealing the purpose of their mission. Harper, pregnant, seeks help at the police station regarding Rosalind. Wesley shares his connection with the lawyer and her affluent background. Fire alarms disrupt Rosalind's trial, leading to her escape. Nolan pursues her but mistakenly tackles the lawyer. Chenford learns about Rosalind's escape, but still head to Las Vegas. Lucy and Tim share a kiss as part of their undercover act. In Las Vegas, Chenford encounters challenges maintaining their cover. Meanwhile, Harper, Wesley, and Tamara investigate the connection between Rosalind and the lawyer. Rosalind, having killed the lawyer's parents, leaves a video message. Chenford discusses their mission with Lopez and Aaron. Tim and Lucy receive an update on Madrid, and Lopez promises to deal with Lion. Lucy and Tim confront their growing feelings for each other. In a tense confrontation, Tim and Lucy face Lion and his accomplices. The situation escalates, but Lucy and Tim manage to fight back. Prosecutors discuss the repercussions of mishandling Rosalind's case. The head prosecutor tells Chris there is a cop outside that will take him home. Chris exits the building and climbs into the back seat of the police escort, where Rosalind is seated in the driver's seat. Chris eventually recovers from his injuries, and Lucy is offered admission to an undercover school. Despite encouragement from those close to her, she hesitates. Nolan successfully passes his TO exam and is set to attend a certification course. Gray allows him to serve as Aaron's TO as a trial run. During their duty, they respond to a welfare check and discover the body of a deputy sheriff. The ensuing investigation reveals a web of corruption among undercover deputies who diverted funds from drug dealers. Harper, on maternity leave, grows suspicious of her neighbors and becomes increasingly concerned. Gunshots prompt Smitty to investigate, but no evidence is found. Later, Harper witnesses her neighbors placing a corpse in a car trunk and reports her suspicions to Gray. On the night she is due to give birth, the neighbors break into her house. With Gray's timely arrival, Harper manages to subdue one intruder and successfully gives birth to a baby girl. Amidst the deputy investigation, Nolan expresses doubt about teaching Aaron effectively, but Aaron reassures him that his tactics were indeed beneficial. 1 month later, Nolan successfully completes his TO certification. Lucy finishes her undercover course, and Harper returns to work. Nolan is assigned rookie Celina Juarez, and their partnership begins on a rocky note after a problematic traffic stop. The vehicle in question contains a blood-stained carpet, but due to the illegal acquisition of evidence, it proves inadmissible in court. The carpet is linked to the disappearance of Jill Baskin, a case Harper has taken on. Collaborating with Lopez and Harper, Nolan and Celina go undercover to trail Baskin's suspected abductor, Tyler Harvin, who manages to escape. During their investigation, Celina has a dream that provides a potential location for Baskin. After re-establishing their working relationship, Nolan gives Celina a chance, and together they discover Baskin in a wooded property. Celina confronts Harvin in a physical altercation, leading to Nolan's timely intervention and Harvin's arrest. Meanwhile, Lucy patrols alone and becomes trapped inside an old warehouse during a welfare check. An epiphany occurs when she reviews a document from the Diehards, an online group investigating Rosalind Dyer. With the help of Tim and Aaron, Lucy and Chris approach the FBI with suspicions of Rosalind's involvement in the group, leading them to an address in Seattle. Lucy joins the team in the city, discovering a blood-written message from Rosalind on a wall. Better luck next time. Responding to a supposed medical emergency, Bailey falls into a booby trap in an old house floor. Her entrapment complicates the rescue mission for both the fire and police departments. Meanwhile, Nolan receives a call from Rosalind, who demands a final meeting. She threatens Bailey's safety, prompting a rescue operation filled with obstacles. The tank Bailey is trapped in begins to fill with water, and Nolan leaves clues for his colleagues while following a trail that leads him to drive a van to Rosalind's location. Harper, Lopez, and Aaron, along with Laura Stenson and Brandon Akers from the LA FBI office, investigate a warehouse belonging to an acolyte of Rosalind, Jeffrey Boyle. Chasing Jeffrey, they trigger explosives that detonate the warehouse, but everyone escapes unharmed. Armed with notes on the traps, the rescue team manages to disarm them, eventually recovering Bailey from the tank. Nolan meets with Rosalind for what is supposed to be a final confrontation, but he refrains from killing her. As he contacts the authorities, a sniper intervenes and fatally shoots Rosalind. Lopez discovers her mother at the door, who recounts being attacked by someone warning about the safety of one of her sons. Harper takes on the case, and Lopez contacts all her brothers, excluding the one studying in New York. Despite their denials, Lopez learns that Damien cheated with a former gang member's wife at his church, and Benny faced trouble with a loan shark due to stock market losses. Harper and Lopez arrest the loan shark for assaulting Lopez's mother. Meanwhile, Nolan and Celina respond to a car accident involving Rob Lucasy, who escapes from the ambulance at the hospital. Rob Lucasy burgled a house and was shot by a man in self-defense. Disguising himself as a medical officer and then a doctor, Rob takes Celina hostage, but she manages to subdue him with morphine while treating his injuries. Tim undergoes surgery for a previous bullet wound, successfully recovering, but faces a breakup with his girlfriend Ashley. Gray is hospitalized with food poisoning, leaving Smitty in charge of the station, but Lucy takes over and efficiently manages operations despite reduced personnel. Nolan and Celina respond to a money dispute at a bank, revealing it was burned after a robbery. Celina suspects the money is cursed, especially after encountering the dead woman Macy Tompkins linked to the stolen cash. Harper and Lopez collaborate with the DEA on an investigation, discovering the money's connection to drug smuggler Winslow Harris. Celina has a dream leading them to Winslow at the marina, where they apprehend him. Winslow admits to accidentally killing the DEA agent's partner. While assisting a movie director with props, Bradford loses his radio, sparking a treasure hunt initiated by Lucy to help Tim feel better. Lucy returns the radio to Bradford, hoping it will help him move on from Ashley. Wesley and Sean Del Monte proceed with the case against Elijah Stone, with Wesley surprised to find his ex-girlfriend Monica as Elijah's defense attorney. She tries to discredit Wesley and the LAPD, making the case personal. Despite Wesley's warnings about Elijah's manipulations, Monica blackmails Del Monte into dropping the case. Elijah warns Wesley that their encounter is far from over. Elijah initiates a lawsuit against the LAPD, specifically targeting Wesley, Lopez, Nolan, Gray, and Harper for their involvement in freeing Lopez from La Fiera. He also files a restraining order against Wesley, demanding a public apology in front of the press corps. Meanwhile, Nolan and Celina investigate the murder of Dr. Alvin Mitchelson, initially believed to be a stabbing, but later revealed as a poisoning. The perpetrator, a former patient, discloses that she shot Alvin due to his mistreatment of her father's drugs. However, further examination exposes a cover-up by Alvin's wife, who poisoned him. Aaron connects with Tabin Corden, brother of a R gang member, during a noise complaint response, leading to Vina Corden's arrest for a murder investigation. Thorson accompanies Harper and Lopez in pursuit of his aspiration to become a detective. Given an old case, he is limited to 5 questions, Meanwhile, Nolan and Celina encounter Pam Winfield, a speeding driver with a bomb collar. Despite attempts to disarm the bomb, it detonates, killing her. Another victim, Creighton Mitchell, is found with a collar but manages to remove it, revealing Richard Dormer as the assailant. Richard's motives stem from his sister's death in captivity, leading him to target the CEO of their oil company. The police arrest Richard without resistance, and Nolan disarms a bomb on the CEO, ensuring a safe resolution. Chris proposes house hunting to Lucy, causing her to grapple with her feelings for Tim and the pace of their relationship. Gray and his wife visit their daughter Dominique in New York, but grow concerned when she fails to meet them. Contacting the NYPD, who advise patience, the couple investigates and discovers that Dominique has befriended potentially dubious individuals. Tracing her movements, they encounter an Uber driver who appears helpful, but Gray notices a broken tail light, a trick he taught Dominique. They follow the driver and successfully rescue her from her abductors. Celina confronts and apprehends a bank robber, Ryan Davis, who is later injured in a cell altercation with other prisoners and dies in the hospital from a ruptured spleen. An investigation ensues to determine Celina's culpability, with Nolan supporting her as her union representative during questioning by Wesley and Chris. Autopsy results and camera footage ultimately exonerate her. Lucy struggles and rehearses various breakup scenarios with Aaron, but when the moment arrives, she candidly delivers Tim's straightforward advice, asking Chris to hand in his playbook. Nolan assists Tim's sister, Jenny, in recovering her Lucky Charm bracelet, discarded by her son Tyler in a fit of anger over her divorce. Tim and Lucy embark on their first date, but find themselves intervening in a dispute between a cook and chef. Harper and James become unwitting participants in a bank robbery, orchestrated by serial robber Todd Shelf and his associates. Harper triggers the silent alarm, leading to police intervention. While Todd escapes, his accomplice Roger Armistead is left behind. The LAPD collaborates with the FBI, led by Simone Clark and FBI Special Agent Carter Hope, to track an unusual money transfer to Taylor Barnes. Taylor is shot by a sniper before revealing the buyer's identity. Tim and Lucy, with reinforcements, apprehend Roger taking a hostage. Despite a daring plan by Bradford, Amy Wright, Todd's third associate, escapes and pushes Tim and Aaron's patrol car off a parking garage roof. Luckily, the two narrowly escape. Later, Nolan and Celina discover Todd dead in the stolen truck. Lopez's brother Damien approaches her seeking help in locating a missing kid from his local shelter, Mateo. She and Harper take on the case, discovering Mateo's involvement with the Quinlan Rights gang. Meeting with Nolan and Celina, they search an abandoned building where Mateo's phone last pinged, finding his body alongside others. Harper and Lopez question Moses Warden, Quinlan's rival, who denies involvement. Quinlan's men arrive and open fire, leading Lopez and Harper to bring in Damien to assist. Informant Ricky reveals Elijah Stone orchestrated a gang war to clear his name, providing conflicting information. Lucy hosts the Citizen Academy and suspects attendee Kira Cook faces domestic abuse. Convincing Kira to go to a shelter, she leaves after an incident. Kira calls Lucy again when facing abuse from Oliver, leading Lucy to intervene, arrest Oliver, and ultimately Kira after a tense standoff. Tim coaches baseball for his sister's son, seeking help from Lucy. Oscar Hutchinson, on prison leave to donate a kidney to his estranged daughter, becomes a target for past victims of his crimes. Nolan and Celina protect Oscar from attempts on his life, complicated by his constant attempts to delay the surgery to stay out of prison longer. Harper and Lopez have a tense exchange during an investigation into one of Elijah's associates, with Lopez apologizing and attributing the stress to her unexpected pregnancy. Tim and Lucy grapple with keeping their romance from affecting work, leading Tim to request a transfer. The team thwarts a plot to block Oscar's surgeon. During a citywide heat wave causing rolling blackouts, the precinct's backup generator ensures continued operation. Nolan's trainee, Celina, partners with Gray after missing a question from him during the morning briefing. They thwart a robbery, and Gray assigns Celina to command post duty, an overwhelming task intended to teach her to seek help. Struggling to contact her mother, Celina finally requests assistance. When the station's backup generator fails, Nolan and Aaron uncover imposters posing as cops attempting to free a friend from jail. They expose a ghost gun seller, leading Lopez to a fentanyl dealer processing drugs in a home with a child. Celina is exposed during the rescue but revived with Narcan. Lucy orchestrates Tim's transfer to Metro, and Celina secretly checks in with her mother, who believes she only does desk duty. The group gathers at Nolan's, enjoying his backup generator and air conditioning. Tim faces challenges during Metro training, but eventually proves himself. Bailey's ambulance is shot at, triggering a spree of rage killings targeting firefighters and EMT workers. Nolan apprehends the perpetrator, a fired firefighter. Wesley suspects corruption when he loses a preliminary decision related to Elijah and confronts the judge, who hints at foul play before dying mysteriously. Wesley warns Monica of potential danger from Elijah. Tamara juggles multiple jobs to move out of Lucy's place, but an unusual babysitting gig prompts a police investigation into the mother's kidnapping due to the father's illegal activities. Tim participates in the rescue with Metro. Throughout the day, Nolan receives manipulative calls from his mother, who claims she was hospitalized and later learns of her death. Assisted by Matthew Garza's FBI team, Lopez takes significant risks to help Elijah Stone bring down Abril Rodas in exchange for her safety in a complex operation. Garza's team plans to use Abril's girlfriend, Dalen, as bait, but Elijah hesitates at the last minute due to an unintended distraction caused by Aaron. Unbeknownst to LAPD and the FBI, Elijah approaches Abril, offering to collaborate. Meanwhile, Nolan and Bailey journey to Nolan's late mother's vacant home in Foxburg, Pennsylvania, confronting the secrets and shady dealings she left behind, including an imposter posing as Nolan, drug dealers, and a foreclosed mortgage. At the Mid-Wilshire station, collaboration with Victorville PD detective Noah Foster aims to thwart a militia group planning a terrorist attack using sarin gas. Bailey, Juarez, and Harper work with the CDC to secure and quarantine 3 men returning from Nigeria suspected of Ebola exposure. When a militia member dies from the gas, they bring in his sister for information, but she feigns ignorance. Tapping her phone reveals the group's target, Union Station. A roadblock with spike strips is set up, and Aaron and Harper force the truck with sarin gas towards it. The driver is arrested after being blocked in. Lucy senses animosity from Tim, who discovers she orchestrated his transfer to Metro. Despite not informing him beforehand, Lucy convinces Tim that the move was for the best. Lopez and Wesley enhance their residential security by hiring a private specialist. They receive an unsettling Valentine's Day gift from Elijah Stone: dead roses crawling with insects. Elijah starts to doubt Monica's loyalty, but is convinced when she devises a plan to deceive both the LAPD and Elijah's pursuers. Approaching the police under the guise of assistance, Gray and Harper quickly see through her ruse. During the second report on Elijah's movements, the police decode the real location at the Port of Los Angeles. A shootout ensues, and while Elijah subdues Harper, Lopez wounds him, leading to his arrest. Monica contacts Abril, offering her assistance. Nolan reopens Celina's sister Blanca's case and, with Celina, discovers a new lead that fractures the previous alibi. A witness reveals that Celina's mother and Blanca were taking opioids together while Blanca disappeared. Her mother is eventually brought in for questioning and admits the truth to Celina. Tim's doppelganger, Jake Butler, is released from prison, and with his girlfriend Sava, they embark on a new crime spree. Their plan involves taking jobs as a handyman or nanny for wealthy and/or famous families and stealing from them. After scoring with Lance Bass, they target the Baudelaire family, discovering a secret room with expensive and often illegal antiquities. Jake goes missing and is later found dead, along with the family's nanny. Mid-Wilshire questions a previous handyman who admits to accidentally killing the nanny. Sava receives threats from a Turkish dealer connected to an Iranian weapons deal by the CIA. A video from Jake and Sava's stolen car leads the police to her friend Lisa Miller, who had an affair with Jake, took a historic gun from the Baudelaires and killed him. Nolan is shot during her arrest, but survives thanks to his bulletproof vest. On the anniversary of her sister's abduction, Celina visits her grave. Lopez discovers a pattern of abductions dating back years, all occurring on the same day and victims from drug-addicted parents. The cycle restarts with a call about a missing child. An older officer, recognized by Celina, raises suspicion by requesting entry to the scene. Gray asks an old investigator about anything that didn't make it into Celina's sister's kidnapping, which leads the team to a serial sex offender suspected, but unable to be tied to the case. Harper questions the officer, catching him in a lie, increasing suspicion. Released with a tail, he escapes, breaking it using his police skills. Lucy uncovers a recent case where he cleared a house near the abduction site. The team surrounds the house, convincing the officer to release the victim. When they move in, the officer raises his gun against Tim, who shoots him. Lucy offers support to Tim, and he helps her prepare for the detective exam. Tim's ex, Isabel, seeks his help in finding a missing girl, Dara Teska, whom she once cared for. With Lucy, they discover Dara hiding in a motel Isabel used for safety. Securing Dara, they reveal their real identities to help her escape a hitman sent by her uncle Ed. After learning her father had Ed killed, Isabel promises to stay in touch. Gray assigns Aaron to support Lopez during her pregnancy, but he asks her to stay home until the baby is born. Harper and Nolan assist skip tracer Randy, who stumbles upon a dead body. The victim, known for online trolling, prompts Randy's interference. Despite holding him at bay, Randy unravels a cryptic threat from an emoji-sending friend, instigating Nolan and Harper to make an arrest. Meanwhile, Bailey's college friend Libby crashes at their place, dragging her around LA to relive their college days and escape her own problems. The escapade culminates in a meetup with a dubious man, leading to Bailey's arrest after a fight and her subsequent escape. When Libby decides to return home, she accuses Bailey of being an alcoholic, deflecting from her issues and sidestepping responsibility for recent actions. Lucy takes on an undercover role as a sales agent to attract Frank Teska's attention after his release from prison. When he approaches her, he proposes an underpayment arrangement for products from her company. Frank discovers threats from his brother's crew and betrayal from his own men. After a drive-by shooting, Lucy prevents him from seeking revenge as Tim and the police close in. Frank admits losing control of his crew after prison and expresses a desire to reconcile with his daughter, encouraged by Chen. Aaron assists Lopez in detective work from home, questioning a reluctant witness in a robbery case that leads to a vehicle with a dead body and a workshop with a deceased suspect. He successfully solves the case and ties it to 7 others. Harper, Nolan, and Celina delve into a cold case involving a severed torso. Further investigation uncovers an arm and 2 friends of the victim. Video footage reveals they accidentally shot their friend, prompting them to cut up the body and hide the parts. Celina and Aaron stroll down a quiet street when they suddenly hear commotion emanating from an alley nearby. Intrigued, they decide to investigate, only to be ambushed by assailants wearing eerie masks. In a brutal attack, Aaron is gunned down while Celina watches in horror. Rushing to the scene, Bailey intervenes to assist Celina and ensures Aaron is swiftly taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, Wesley and Lopez observe the chaotic situation as Aaron is wheeled into the emergency room. The medical team works tirelessly, attempting to save Aaron's life. Concerned for Celina, Nolan arrives at the ER to offer support during this traumatic ordeal. Despite the doctor's dedicated efforts, Aaron's condition appears grim. The LAPD convenes an emergency meeting to address the threat posed by the masked assailants who targeted Aaron and Celina, questioning whether the danger has passed or if further attacks are imminent. In an attempt to provide solace, Bailey and Nolan bring comfort items to Celina as she copes with the aftermath. Sergeant Gray, Chenford, Nolan, and Bailey engage in discussions about the attackers, but the mystery surrounding their identity persists with no clear answers. The tension and uncertainty hang heavy in the air as they grapple with the unfolding crisis. Bailey and Nolan return home, only to be startled by the sight of a masked man in their window. Nolan investigates, while Bailey dials 911. Spotting the mask on a branch, Nolan realizes the threat is directed at Bailey. Hurrying back inside, they confront the masked intruder, with Bailey delivering a decisive stab to his back while Nolan brandishes his gun and opens fire. In a coordinated effort, Bailey distracts the assailant, allowing Nolan to shoot him in the chest. With the masked man subdued, they transport him to the hospital in an attempt to extract information, but the captive remains tight-lipped. Seeking a positive turn of events, the group receives news of Lopez welcoming her baby into the world. The LAPD strategizes on how to handle the ongoing threat posed by these mysterious masked individuals. Chenford ventures to a building where a group of masked men, armed with anti-riot shields, launches an attack. Overwhelmed, Chenford faces a dire situation, but timely intervention from Nolan and Harper turns the tide as they come to the rescue, averting further danger. Chenford engages in an intense struggle with these assailants. Nolan arrives just in the nick of time. With Nolan's assistance, Chenford makes a desperate dash for safety through a side door. Sergeant Gray leads the LAPD in pursuit of the individual they believe is orchestrating the masked menace, Luke Moran. Determined to evade capture, Luke opts for a dramatic exit, choosing to go out with a bang rather than face imprisonment. The scene shifts to Aaron, his heart monitor signaling distress as doctors urgently rush to his aid. As the episode concludes, a man in a motorcade reflects on the havoc they've wreaked, emphasizing that the LAPD is chasing the wrong culprits, unaware of the true orchestrator behind the chaos.
Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe and ring that bell to be notified of our newest videos.